just gonna die in the end.
Alright guys, today I wanted to do some anime chatting today, specifically about the best non-romantic relationships that you guys know of in anime. Now again, when I make these things, when I do videos like this, it's genuinely to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on whatever the topic may be, because again, I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on these things. So unlike, people like Swagkage, who clearly are experts on such things, when I make these videos, it's because I want to learn more about different anime and different thoughts, feelings on anime characters, so on and so forth. So hopefully one day I might be a little bit of an authority on these things. Probably by the time I've watched that much anime, I'll be too old to, even wipe myself. So I don't know how effective it'll be. But in any event, I like getting you guys' takes on these things. Now, I'm going to tell you about 3 of the non-romantic pairings that I'm familiar with and how I view them. But then I want to hear from you guys throughout all of anime. What are the best pairings? It could be... Actually, I want to talk about 4 because I've touched on... that sounded weird. I've touched on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and the Elric brothers too, so I want to bring them into it as well, although my knowledge is next to nothing on them. But for me, right now, the best friendship relationship, best non-romantic relationship, easily for me, is Gon and Killua. And that's actually, it's kind of interesting to me that that's the case. And I'll tell you why, because Gon and Killua, their friendship just worked so easily. Now, a lot of times for me, I like the friendships that are more work or have a lot more, maybe even a little bit of animosity thrown in there, but a lot more pitfalls in their way. Whereas Gon and Killua just clicked from the start, but their clicking right from the start clicked with me. They're just so, it's such a cool... I think the dynamic I like is they do such a good job of being kids, of being 12, and being badasses. I mean, with the flip of a switch, both of them. I mean, Killua to more extremes, of course, when you can just rip out people's hearts at will. That's kind of an extreme case, but I think you guys know what I'm getting. And what surprised me is I love Naruto. And when I say this, the series Naruto, and I like the character as well, but when I say this, I don't want to seem like I'm demeaning anything at all. But the Naruto-Sasuke relationship, it never pulled me into the point of caring whether or not they got together. Now, I know the obvious thing to say is, well, Naruto and Sasuke, weren't just close friends like Gon and Killua. There was always that friction between them. Hell, they were coming at each other with their ultimate weapons. If Kakashi Sensei hadn't broken them up at one point. They had that great moment together that I really enjoyed on the bridge. Against Zabuza and Haku. And that at that point when I watched that, which became one of my favorite moments in the Naruto series, was on that bridge, I thought, okay, this is the way their relationship is gonna go. It's going to be a rough road, but they're always going to have that feeling for one another, that friendship for one another. It didn't turn out that way. But typically, I like relationships like that, friendship relationships where there's that much work involved in them. But that one for me just never made me root for them. That's not to say the relationship didn't work. That's an entirely different thing. I like how that Naruto's determination to bring Sasuke back was a driving force throughout the entire series. I like that and I appreciate that. But I never cared 100% if Sasuke came back to the village. When they had that final fight, when Naruto and Sasuke had that final fight, I would have been just as pleased with the storytelling as if one of them had killed the other than, everything working out and being hunky-dory. And again, that's not cynical or anything like that, and it's not to demean the storytelling. It's just that they never had that connection where it's like, oh man, I gotta see these two guys back together again. The way it did work out, and that they both ended up, like-minded as far as being members of the Leaf and standing up for the Leaf, that worked out great. I thought that was excellent storytelling as well. I enjoyed that. But had one of them killed the other, say they had that huge fight and one of them bled out from their arms before help came, I would have been okay with that too. In other words, I never rooted hard for them to come back together. Now, we get to Goku and Vegeta, That's also another relationship I really like. And it's similar to Naruto and Sasuke's in that, well, how many times did Vegeta want to kill Kakarot? But for that one, this type of relationship, that always competitive relationship, of course, definitely, Vegeta with the absolute pride and just being unable to come to terms with this nothing Saiyan eclipsing the prince of all Saiyans. I mean, that's just a driving force behind his whole character, and I like that. And when they have their moments where they work together, even when it's grudgingly, always sticks out for me is when Goku becomes a Super Saiyan God. I got that far in Super, so I got to see that. And they have to, all the Saiyans have to get together to give him that power. And Vegeta is so goddamn grudging. It's like, I'll do it, but I don't want it type thing. I like that. That dynamic, that relationship works. It does. Again, it's not my favorite. Of these three, it's a clear-cut top three for me, or it's a clear-cut order for me. It's Gon and Killua, then Vegeta and Goku, and then Naruto and Sasuke. Now, I've only watched the opening episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This week on the Goosh, we're going to be watching more. We're going to get into the series full bore. We're going to start going guns a-blazing on it. I immediately liked that relationship between the Elric brothers. I think a lot of it's just that fascination of Al being just a soul or an essence inside of that suit of armor. That just, I don't know why, that was just an appealing idea to me. I'm fascinated with it. And I'm really, really fascinated to learn exactly how this all came to be, with both of them, with their individual issues with the Full Metal. That's got me fascinated. I can't wait to get started on that. So it's too early to, to have any real insight or any hardcore feelings about how well that relationship works for me. All I know is it's piqued my interest right from the start. But for me, the whole Naruto Sasuke thing, it's not that the relationship itself didn't work. It needed to be there. I liked that it was there. I just never got motivated to think, oh, Naruto, yeah, you got to get him back. I think some people did. It just never hit me that way. What I want to know is, give me your feelings on these relationships that I've talked about here, because I love getting you guys' take on things. But tell me what your favorite relationships are in any of the anime, non-romantic relationships, because that gets me jazzed up just to watch more. And as you guys know, I'm watching Hunter x Hunter on the Goosh right now. So, if something's hugely spoilerish, you can comment it. Just put spoiler on it for me, and I'll ignore it for now. But because if you want to talk to others about it. But that's what I want to hear. What are the really cool non-romantic relationships that you guys have seen? Reading your comments is going to get me jazzed up for all the stuff we've yet to come in anime, because I plan on spending the rest of my life just pretty much watching anime. And the thing is, I'm perfectly comfortable and happy with that.